Titans against Warriors. It's day 5 of the BIM 10 cricket tournament here in Bridgetown, Barbados at the Desmond Haynes Oval. The Titans, one of 2 undefeated teams still in this tournament. The Warriors, a team in need of wins and wins quickly. Only got 1 to their name thus far. And they'll be hoping Captain Jonathan Carter, out in the middle, opening the batting for the 2nd time consecutively, can get them off to a quick start. He's facing Shamar Marshall, left-arm spinner. And toss was won by that Titans side. Aaron Jones opted to bowl first, so just about ready to get going. First delivery. Starts well. Marshall's been good. A lot of finger spinners in this tournament have done well in the power play. Just a correction, that Warriors team yet to win a game in this tournament. They're the only team who hasn't got on the board as yet. As I say, hello and welcome to Shakira Salmon.
Hey Nikhil, hey viewers. This is an important game for that Warriors side. They will want to get a win, finally get a W in that column. And a lot will depend on the start they have in this power play.
Grant at the top of the order as well, so brand new opening partnership. No Zidane Harewood today. And that one, arm delivery, almost went on to hit that leg stump. Interesting as well, because yesterday Zidane Harewood, who's playing, you were here Shakira, got 27 in quick time, took on that short boundary. So surprising that they've opted to go with Grant, who also had a good day in that middle order, and also Captain Jonathan Carter, so they've got that left-right combination. That man on screen, Stefan Griffith, will be important with his pace at some stage today. Yeah, vacant area, all the way for 6 as well, flat and effective.
Yeah, quickly onto the back foot on that occasion, Jonathan Carter. He is very good at playing spin, and he picks length very quickly. He's able to hit that in front of square into the tree for the first maximum. A bit too short on that occasion by Shamar Marshall, just missing his length narrowly.
This time through the covers, offside. That is gorgeous. Carter, 2 boundaries and 2 deliveries.
Yeah, Carter at the top of the order once again. Yesterday it was Zidane Harewood who took charge. Carter struggled for a short time. But this time it's a maximum and followed up by a lovely extra cover drive all along the ground. And he's 11 from just 3 deliveries, Jonathan Carter.
He would fully understand his importance. It was like this a season ago when he played for this Warriors team. Didn't get into those semifinals, but were in and around the mix-up. And when he did well, the team did well. Given the nature of this batting lineup, a lot of power hitters to come. Alcinda Holder, Maradon Ben, Kemar Smith back into the team today. So they need a platform, though. They've lost so many wickets early the first couple of overs, and it's why they've chopped and changed with that opening pair. Again, very narrow miss. 2nd time that he's gone to that arm ball in the over. Both times to Evan Grant, who is unable to get off the mark, but they get the single, 14 after the first over.
Pretty decent start for the Warriors. But there were some questions being asked by Shamar Marshall, particularly when he was bowling to the right-handed Evan Grant, who's at the top of the order in this game, after finishing quite well yesterday for the Warriors when he batted in that lower to middle order. Just like you, I'm surprised that Evan Grant is at the top of the order today. Finished pretty well, like I pointed out, but perhaps it's so that Jonathan Carter can get running. You know he likes to run quickly between the wickets, and yesterday it was a bit of a struggle when he was batting with Zidane Harewood. So perhaps that's the reason for this tactical change.
Yeah, it does require innovation. Great to see big turnout again today at the Desmond Haynes Oval. They're coming in for this afternoon primetime game. And of course, no action tomorrow, but then action every day up until January 14th in this year's BIM 10. So if you're joining us around the world, you've got a lot to look forward to. Javon Searles into the attack. Just short of Naeem Young, who was down at deep cover. Get back in the end for 2. Yeah, Searles hits the deck. He mainly takes pace off with a lot of different variations. He's got the off cutter. He pulls a lot of cross seam deliveries as well. So they've tried a few different combinations in the power play, bowling wise. The Titans saw Kemar Hart at times in the team today. Calvin Marcus is another one who pulls that bit of extra pace. Maybe could be used as well. Then they've got so much spin.
Yeah, Kemar Hart was excellent yesterday, but he was carrying an injury. It looked to be a leg injury. So perhaps that's the reason he's not playing today. But that double just now, again, that's the intensity we were talking about in that previous game. And perhaps, like I said, that's the reason for this change at the top. These two are always going to be looking to run, putting pressure on the fielders.
Straight to the man. First wicket. And the struggle continues for this Warriors team, losing a lot of wickets in the power play.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a slight change of pace. Ivan Grant seemed to be in the shot a bit early. He definitely wanted to hit that a lot squarer. He was aiming for that mid-wicket area. He was only able to pick out the man at mid-on. An easy catch, and again the Warriors lose an early wicket, 16 for 1. Ivan Grant goes for just 2. So the experiment doesn't work on this occasion.
Early wicket brings Maradon Ben to the middle.
The score 15 for 1.
Again, those Searles, as you mentioned, with that just subtle change of pace, not taking a lot of pace off, because on a slow surface, ball can just sit up, become a bit too easy. But just very subtle and discreet changes of pace can be very effective. Seems like it gets slower as we go up through on the day, which is pretty much common in terms of pitches around the Caribbean. We've already had one game here earlier today, of course. Settlers still undefeated, the defending champions, and that finals rematch defeated the Guardians. Yeah, Ben has been good at 3 though in this tournament. Well, at 31 a couple of days ago. Carter will need someone to take the pressure off of him, and will need to find boundaries as well. But that's the start. There was backward square, but didn't face him at all. Took on the short delivery, took it on for 6.
And I think his first scoring shot yesterday was hit for maximum as well. But look at that, it's almost as though he knew that it was going to be a short delivery first up. He was able to transfer that weight onto the back foot, just a slight rock back, and he's able to hit that one into the tamarind trees on the leg side. Maximum to Maradon Ben.
I tell you, that is so much courage and bravery from Ben, because that wind is coming powerfully from the eastern side of the ground. Didn't mind, yes, it's a small boundary, and there was a fielder there, so a lot of variables, but he backed himself, went a long way. Just trying to retrieve the ball at the moment, but that was a serious strike.
Yeah, remember he looked in good nick yesterday before he was run out, going for a second run, and he was disgusted with himself for being run out because he was hitting the ball so well. So he's just carrying it on, given an opportunity early again, because they've lost another early wicket, the Warriors.
Yeah, and similar to what we saw earlier today, there will be no real room for consolidation, even if they continue to lose wickets, because of the nature of that Titans batting lineup, who we saw chase 70 in about 5 overs yesterday. Naeem Young was part of that. They've got Ashley Nurse, Aaron Jones, who've all been in the runs. Very strong leg side, Maradon Ben. We'll look for a second, and we'll get it quite comfortably.
Yeah, just walking into that one because it was telegraphed. It was going to be a shorter delivery. So he wanted to create the lane for himself. Didn't get all of it, but he managed to get it for enough in front of square to get 2 runs.
Just one delivery left. Still bowling to that right-handed Ben. He's got deep cover. Boundary joining deep backward square. Yeah, this time goes full. Ends a good over from Searles, gets the crucial wicket. End of 224 for 1.
So at the end of the second over, the Warriors are 24 for 1.
Well, it is day 5 of the BIM 10 cricket tournament, Shakira Salman, and really has been heartening to see the crowds come out around the ground. I mean, the week it was a great turnout, but the weekend has been even better. Yesterday it was a packed house. Had some really entertaining matches. And this one, I think with the Warriors team, with their backs against the walls, needing a win pretty much to stay in this competition and in the running for that semi-final spot. You never know with Carter at the crease, with the explosiveness of Alcindor Holder and others, if they get 120 and the spin that they have, it could become a challenge. So it could just be an upset brewing. Titans undefeated in this tournament. It's going to be Shamar Marshall for a second. Yeah, left arm spinner being taken on. Hitting with the spin as well. Jonathan Carter. Expect more of this.
Yeah, matchup going in favor of the left-handed batsman, Jonathan Carter. Quite easy. No fielder there on the boundary, on the leg side. That fielder station is a lot straighter. It's easily slug swept for another maximum. So Jonathan Carter in a real mood today. He knows how important this encounter is. They have to win the Warriors.
Goes again. This time though, fielder just over him. Yeah, risky, but so far so good for Carter.
Yeah, that's a good hit, a big hit. Into the wing, takes on the fielder, and he's able to get another maximum. Jonathan Carter, he's really loving this matchup, and we spoke about how much he loves playing spin. He's really enjoying the left arm spin of Shamar Marshall. Another massive heave again. This time he doesn't get all of it. Only manages one. Yeah, clearly intent on taking on the left arm spin of Jonathan Carter.
Yeah, a lot of captains have tried this tactic of bowling the spin from this northern end because of that slightly bigger boundary, but these two batters have shown, I think batters throughout the tournament have shown that that boundary really isn't big enough, even though the dimensions favor it. Very quick this time.
And again, that's not Hearn ball. It is a newer ball. It's still fairly new. Just a third over being bowled with this ball, so you don't expect it to turn too much. Either way, I don't think Shamar Marshall is trying to turn it, especially when he's bowling to these right-handers.
And interesting as well, I've seen a lot of spinners bowling two in the power play. Marshall, saw earlier today, Shaki Marshall, Joshua Bishop for the Pelicans. Does it a lot. It's not an easy, I think it's one of the hardest things to do in this format.
Yeah, and kudos to the spinners who are able to do it. It's very difficult for any type of bowler to bowl in the power play, but especially as a spinner.
And 2 overs consecutively. Yeah, he comes back well in that over, Marshall. First 2 deliveries went for 12. The next 4, just 3 runs. Ends the third, 39 for 1.
39 for 1 after 3 overs.
Yeah, still pretty good from Shamar Marshall. Yesterday he bowled 2 overs for about 11 runs. This time under some pressure, primarily because of the left-handed Jonathan Carter. But he will be happy with the way he was able to finish that over. He closed it out pretty well.
Some thinking for Ashley Nurse, Aaron Jones, and that think tank to do with the score now. The rate is very high, and it's because of Carter's presence at the crease. 26 from just 8 to start. So they've gone to Naeem Young, who has bowled sometimes in the power play, at other times both overs at the back end of the innings. A lot of pace-off deliveries, but of course can go to that wide Yorker plan. Those few bowlers you say are white ball specialists in the Caribbean, and starts with that off cutter. And you will know Carter very well. They both spent a lot of time in the Barbados Royals together, a couple of seasons, club cricket over the years.
Yeah, no real surprise that Aaron Jones has decided to go to Naeem Young. He didn't bowl in the power play yesterday. He only bowled 1 over, 1 for 7 he got from that over. But you think he doesn't want to go to the other left arm spinner just yet because of the mood Jonathan Carter is in.
Yeah, you feel he missed out there, Carter, because leg side is into a very small boundary. So Naeem Young is going to have to be very careful here. I'm looking forward to seeing if Carter can get out of this power play after this over. When Stefan Griffith, who's been electric in the tournament with his extra pace, one of the fastest bowlers that we've seen on show, but usually goes short. And Carter is quite strong, square both offside and leg side. That will be a good battle. Like this. What a shot that is. Best of the day.
Was that the no-look shot? He didn't take his eyes off rear the ball pitch. Hit that ball cleanly, but he didn't need to look because he knew he hit it good enough for it to travel all the way for another maximum. He's dealing in boundaries, Jonathan Carter. 32 from 11 deliveries, and it's his third maximum. Fourth, in fact.
26 of his 32 runs coming in sixes. It's been amazing how many sixes, the magnitude of the sixes as well, the distance. He will be so important. Every time he is able to get off to a start, especially if he can get through this over, continuing to be aggressive, that will be a small win for the Warriors team because he hasn't been able to get out of the power play at all in the tournament. But if he can get a big 50 or even close to 100 like we saw Kadeem Aline score a couple of days ago, this Warriors team could be on the cards for an upset.
Yeah, you spoke about the pitch slowing down, but the shots being played like that is still a very good surface.
I'm quite surprised Young didn't start the over there with this angle going across the left-hander and the field set. A deep cover, started the over with long off as well to the left-hander. Thought maybe that full and wide plan may have been the best option, but went straight and paid the price in the end.
Luckily for him, with all his experience, he's able to adjust. Next delivery, he's both fuller and wider, making it difficult for Jonathan Carter to access that leg side boundary. Right-handed Mardon Bang comes on straight. Two fielders in the deep or deep backward square and deep mid-wicket.
Pace off again. And there's two fielders deep leg side, but he's so good, Mardon Ben, to find the gap and also get enough elevation on it to go full over the boundary for six.
He's pulled out off the front foot, you know. That maximum brings up the 50 for the Warriors. 52 for one over remaining in this power play. Off the front foot. No chance for those two fielders in the deep on the leg side. And it's his second maximum, Mardon Ben.
Goes again. Six more. They are dealing in maximums. This is the nature of cricket's fastest format. What a power play. They're by far best of the tournament. 58 for one after four.
Clearly they know exactly what they need to do, the Warriors. They haven't been able to capitalize on this power play so far for the season. But they're off to a blinder 58 in 4 overs. They've just lost 1 wicket. These two guys are dealing in maximums.
Yeah, it's also the first time we've really seen the Titans under considerable pressure throughout this tournament. They have been so dominant with both bat and ball. Just see that worm beginning to increase. This is some start. Run rate close to 15 and over, and it's really because of Carter, but also to have someone like Ben at the other end taking pressure off them by consistently finding the boundary. They've still got a lot to come as well. Alcindor Holder can be so destructive on his day. Kemar Smith, we've seen him in first class and list A cricket, so I really want to build on this now for the next 6 overs. And this was the battle we talked about. Stefan Griffith has been one of the best bowlers for the Titans. Understandably, Captain Aaron Jones, right of screen, goes to him. Trying to prize this wicket of Carter. Does he go short? Early with that extra bit of pace, is he brave enough with that small square boundary on both sides of the field?
We saw yesterday he went full out the stumps and dismissed Dwayne Smith. I think it's worth going out the stumps early again, trying to beat them with that extra pace. It's good to see he's into the attack early, trying to get a wicket. They need a wicket here now. It's different questions being asked of Captain Aaron Jones today, in particular because he doesn't have his go-to bowler, Kemar Hart. We mentioned he's out with an injury today. And also because of the start that the Warriors have gotten. Notably, they have Ashley Nurse. You mentioned yesterday he hasn't bowled for the season as yet. Will they go to him? Will they be forced to go to him with the left-handed Jonathan Carter at the crease?
They started with both long on and long off. Now long on has come into the circle and deep third has gone back. So it gives him a couple of options. Stefan Griffith, if he wants to probe outside that off stump, which is a risk because Carter's very strong on that cut shot. And it's a very small boundary as well. I thought maybe with that long on and long off, it would support the plan that we saw to Dwayne Smith yesterday, which was very full, went at times to that Yorker length. But the pace has definitely been up.
Yeah, that first one was quite pacey as well. But he got away with that one, and he knows that. And I think as a result, we see him changing the field. He's sent back long on now instead of long off coming into the circle. So perhaps he's going to go a bit straighter. He does need to go straighter. You did mention Jonathan Carter is very good square up the wicket, especially on that offside. Boy.
That is so rapid, but what a take from Carlos Maynard, who has been unbelievable behind the stumps as well. That could have easily gone over him for extras. It is a no ball as well. I think it's for the front foot. So free hit coming, but he's got some serious pace.
Yeah, that was quick. Well done to Carlos Maynard. He saved a certain boundary. Very well timed jump. Free hit. They cannot change the field. Jonathan Carter is still on strike. So just where will Stefan Griffith bowl?
Went full. Went for the Yorker. Finally able to get bat on ball Carter. But again, just two from the first two deliveries. Every time you go for some amount of deliveries without conceding a boundary, you're always doing well as a bowling unit, given the nature of these teams, given the nature of the six-hitting prowess that some of these batters have developed. But that was rapid, that short delivery, and Carter's not going to back down. Neither will Maradon Ben, who we saw start with a pull. I wonder if he takes on the short ball with a bit of extra pace now. He's got deep third, deep cover. Long off is in the circle. Wayward. Maynard can't stop that one. Will be 5 wide. So second extra in the over, and this will be costly.
Yeah, we did see this yesterday as well from young Stefan Griffith. And it's something you've come accustomed to when you have a bowler with that extra pace. Sometimes they just lose their control a bit. Just brought fine length to the circle, and then he's going too straight down the leg side. Nothing Carlos Maynard can do about that one behind the stumps.
Something that Jair McAllister, we saw for the Guardians, struggled with early, but has been able to enhance his game, refine his game to get more control whilst going to that hard length and even at times a bit of extra pace. On the leg side again, and another no ball signaled. And Maradon Ben wants to face it. Carter was almost next to him.
Tell you what, Maradon Ben is not getting run out again. He's run out yesterday. He's not taking that risk again today. And he doesn't mind facing the free hit either with the form he's in.
Yeah, it really was a good start to the over by Stefan Griffith, but all of a sudden, a couple no balls, one wide that went for a boundary. He's conceded 8 off the first 2 deliveries and is under pressure. Yeah, mid-off is still in the circle. Finds his radar, but so does Maradon Ben. That has gone a long way. The straight boundaries are not an easy hit at the Desmond Haynes Oval. Dealing in 6s this Warriors team.
And that's the reason Maradon Ben said no to that quick single call from his captain, Jonathan Carter. He wanted the free hit, and it's for that exact reason. He's gone deep into the crease, and that allows him to get up and under that length delivery. Misses length ever so slightly on that occasion. Stefan Griffith trying to go for the Yorker once more. He only manages to find the middle of the bat of Mardon Ben and into the boundary for another 6.
50-run partnership has come up. Just 19 deliveries for these two. Another wide and has fine leg, but he can't get to it. So this is becoming a problem for the Titans. A huge over and still 3 deliveries to go.
Yeah, this is expensive by Stefan Griffith. As you say, he started out pretty well. I know he's gone for 19 and he's only halfway into the over. Nothing Carlos Maynard can do about that one once more. And even though they have a fine leg in place, he can't get around to stop it either.
Off the first 2 deliveries. This partnership 61 from 20 deliveries. And these two have hit 8 sixes between them. So if they continue in this vein, they could have easily the biggest score of this year's tournament. It's all 148 yesterday. Much better result.
He's gone off stump on this occasion. Takes the inside edge of the bat of Mardon Ben. It's just a single. Needs to remain calm, Stefan Griffith. Those balls are already bowled. Doesn't mean any Saints harping on about those. They've gone already. He has to try to close out the over. He can still get a wicket and have an impact, especially if he gets the wicket of Jonathan Carter.
He's already bowled 7 deliveries in this over, but only 4 have been legal. It will take a lot of effort, take a lot of energy to try and generate that pace. Under pressure, Griffith. My word, that is some strike. Just opened the face. He goes to 40 now from just 16 deliveries.
He's used all that pace from Stefan Griffith to his advantage, Jonathan Carter. So like you say, he just opened the face of the bat. He's able to cleanly strike that one over extra cover and into the stands for another maximum, his 5th maximum now, Jonathan Carter, and he's raced to 40.
This is supreme striking from the Warriors, and he's had assistance. This has been the difference today for this Warriors side. There's been a lot on Jonathan Carter's shoulders. Has rarely found someone at the other end who can also score aggressively. They've got it with Mardon Ben. Griffith has gone for 26 from 5 deliveries. That's the cut shot. Another maximum. 3 in the over. 32 runs from the 5th over. The Warriors are 90 for 1 after 5. More from you, Shakira, and then Joel Manning.
Yeah, Jonathan Carter missed out on that, the first delivery of this over, but he isn't going to miss again. Just hit the 6, the previous ball. This time, compensation by Stefan Griffith. He pulls that one shorter, he bowls it wider, and it's slapped behind point into the crowd. That crowd has been peppered all day. 6 to Jonathan Carter, and he's 46, just 4 runs away from a 50. He's first for the season.
Ben is on 28, 90 for 1 after 5 overs.
We're currently being treated to a movie. The star at the moment is the captain, Jonathan Carter. You would have to say that this is what the Warriors needed, a fighting chance. And their skipper is leading the charge. On screen at the moment, though, is a man with ball in hand in the form of Ashley Nurse. And he'll be hoping that he can pull things back. Wickets are what they need at the moment because this target is getting out of hand at the moment.
It's going to be Ashley Nurse.
No surprise to see Ashley Nurse's ball in hand. He hasn't bowled for the season as yet, but this is required. He has to bowl. They need a senior statesman, Ashley Nurse, to make a difference here and have an impact with the ball.
Well, he's been brought in to make an impact, and he starts short and down the leg side too to Mardon Ben, who's been the perfect partner to Jonathan Carter at the moment.
Some would say 2 is better than 6. Not the ideal delivery, but they'll be happy for anything except a maximum.
It's certainly been raining 6s here at the Desmond Haynes Oval. And the clouds have burst again because that is 6 more.
look at where he's finished. We can't even see him on screen, Mardon Bain. He played that shot and somehow finished all the way almost in extra cover's lap. But good use of the feet once more. And of course, he's a lot more confident with that ball spinning into him, knowing it's going to be very hard for him to walk past it. Someone ducking for cover down at the side screen.
A quiet single in the midst of destruction. This really is shaping up to be a mammoth target to chase at the moment. Good entertainment is what I hear on the right. It's entertainment indeed on such a lovely Sunday. The last cricket match of the year in Barbados. This is certainly what we've all turned up for here in terms of this BIM 10 cricket. That will be 50 to Jonathan Carter. Send spectators scampering. But what an innings it has been.
Same, all of us scampering. 7 sixes, in fact, for Jonathan Carter. 52 of just 18 deliveries. Doesn't matter where the ball is spinning. Doesn't matter who's bowling it. He is up to the task today, Jonathan Carter. He knows his team needs him. And again, he picks length early. Another maximum.
Well, Ashley Nurse was brought in to use his experience to hopefully quiet things down, maybe pick up a wicket as well. He's only picked up 16 runs from his 5 deliveries. And I don't think there'll be any stopping in terms of the onslaught. Ooh, that one bubbles into the skipper. Aaron Jones does well to close out that one with just a single. 17 from it though. It's 107 for 1.
Yeah, every bowler is being put to the hammer here by the Warriors batters. 107. Surely they have something which they think they can defend already, but still 4 overs remaining. Just who can Aaron Jones go to?
Well, at the moment, that Manhattan is certainly looking like a Manhattan skyline at the moment. Some tall towers there for the Warriors. They've really taken a liking to the bowling of the Titans. 32 runs, the most expensive for Griffith in that last over.
The new bowler from the other land, Calvin Marcus. Calvin Marcus is the new bowler into the attack, and he'll be bowling to Mardon Bain.
From the last 2 overs. So at this stage, anything under 10 in this over would be ideal for them. You just wonder if it is possible. You're wondering if maybe we're going to see the likes of maybe 160, 170 on the cards here for the Warriors. I mean, you look at a total like that, it will certainly take some getting from a team like the Titans, who, yes, have done well in this tournament. Just the 1 loss for them to the unbeaten team in the Settlers. But even a target like 160, 170 will take some batting.
Yeah, total like that will certainly challenge any side. Doesn't matter how many batters you have in your lineup. It means every batter has to constantly go.
Well, Calvin Marcus has been introduced into the attack. More pace for them. And he has sent that one down the leg side as well. So the procession of runs, it simply continues here.
Yeah, more pace and more work for Carlos Maynard behind the stumps. They're working him very hard, young Maynard. He's constantly being asked to dive to his left. And again, there's nothing he can do to stop that one. Not the ideal start for Marcus.
Well, simply unable to line things up here at the moment. The Titans really adding that additional pressure to themselves. So the runs are coming from the bat, but they're also coming from the hands as well in terms of the bowlers.
A change of angle now by Calvin Marcus. He's opting to go around the wicket. Till Mardon Bain remains with this field. No change of field.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Mardon Bain. Oh, you beauty.
Those wrists. My gosh, those are such strong wrists. That's all it was. A flick of the wrist, and he easily clears the boundary on the leg side. Look at that. Around the wicket by Calvin Marcus, but still it's too straight. Another maximum to Mardon Ben and to the Warriors.
Yeah, certainly you told yourself that coming around the wicket, you probably might be looking to push it wider of that off stump, probably fuller as well in terms of the length of it. Straying once again onto those pads, and he needs no invitation, does Mardon Ben. He races now to 44 off of just 15 deliveries.
I'm surprised by this field. They haven't opted to put a third fielder on the deep on the offside. So they've continued to bowl straight at these batters, and this leg side boundary has continued to be peppered. You think going around the wicket, he'll want to go wider. It looks as though he's going to change his angle once more. This time, though, a deep point is being employed. Long on is also going back on the circle, on the boundary.
Oh, he's angry with himself there on that occasion. Carter, though, wants to. Won't get it. Searles does the work coming off of that long on boundary.
These two batters are striking at 278 and 293, respectively, Jonathan Carter and Mardon Ben. So, real carnage by the Warriors batters. No answers as yet by the Titans bowlers.
None at all. A lot of headaches for the skipper and Aaron Jones. And the thing about it is that, yes, there was that single, but it brings Jonathan Carter on to strike. Goes wide, goes full, and gets what you consider to be gold at this stage. A dot ball for Calvin Marcus.
I don't remember the last time we've seen a dot ball, Joel.
The thing about it, too, is that Jonathan Carter looked to open the face on that one, correct in terms of where he was looking, because there's third man in the circle, a man at backward point as well. So truly anything on that one, it was potentially another boundary.
We were being told it was 18 deliveries ago that we saw that last dot delivery. So a rare dot ball by Calvin Marcus.
Unable to follow it up. He's a little angry there with the umpire, probably thinking that that one may be passed over the leg stump as Jonathan Carter looked to give himself some room. In fact, looked to open up that leg side field. There's a man at deep backward square leg. Nobody at fine leg. In fact, no, a short fine leg in the form of Shamar Marshall.
Yeah, he perhaps got away with that one, though. Jonathan Carter would have wanted to just help it past that short fine leg fielder.
Upset with himself, but once again, able to get it past the bat of Jonathan Carter. So things getting a little quieter, however. When you look at that score, you would say damage done at the moment. And the thing about it is that, yes, dot balls, but they need wickets as well. They need somebody new to be at the crease, somebody that might take a ball or two, somebody that might miss-hit something at the moment.
Yeah, they need something to go in their favor, the Titans.
Oh, this is as good as Sunday food. This, oh, delightful.
Did mention the one he got away with 2 balls ago. That was adjudged wide by the umpire. This time he doesn't get away. Jonathan Carter just steps across to the offside and he helps it past that fielder in the circle at short fine leg. No chance for that fielder at deep backward square.
Yeah, this is simply why they need somebody new to be at the crease. Everything's simply flowing off the bat of Jonathan Carter at the moment. So 1 or 2 dot balls will simply not faze them at the moment. The Warriors are certainly on track for what is going to be the biggest total of this year's season so far. A quiet one to close out the 7th. It's 127 for 1.
Wonder what Captain Aaron Jones is thinking. Who can he go to? He went to Ashley Nurse. He went for runs. Does he go back to Young Naeem Young.
He is young, Naeem, as well. You were absolutely correct in saying that one, Shakir. But yeah, certainly looking at that bowling card, young Naeem, he went for 19. Ashley Nurse, the one that we thought would have been the trump card for them, he went for 17. Calvin Marcus went for 20. Griffith went for 32. So looking at that card, you just simply do not know who can you turn to stem the flow of runs at the moment. Shamar Marshall, he's been bowled out already. He went for 27 from his 2. Javon Searles, he's back now into the attack, and he is somebody that we know has the experience. We mentioned that Ashley Nurse had the experience as well, and hence why we thought he would have been the one. Will it be the pace of Javon Searles? Will it be the guile of Javon Searles as well, given how much cricket he's played on the T20 circuit, given how experienced he is around the world, the fact that he has those changes of pace that he can go to as well? Can he be the one to deliver at least 1 or 2 blows for them and get somebody into strike, whereby it's not a case of 180 they're looking at, but maybe 165?
If they only manage 165 from here, the Warriors, I think they'll be disappointed. They'll be hoping to get past that 170 mark.
And there's that experience showing. Wide pace off as well from Javon Searles. Can this be that over that maybe goes for 9? Can it be that for them, but not just that wicket as well? Went for 10 in his first, Searles. Pace off again, going wide again. And Jonathan Carter just asking a question or two, but so far good from Searles.
Yeah, good plan and good execution from Javon Searles. That experience coming to the fore. He's able to execute. It's all good to have your plans, but executing it is another thing. So far, he's executed well, Javon Searles.
And here's where that frustration now starts to creep in a bit for Carter. And the thing about it is that the runs that we saw him score, the 60 runs that we saw, you wouldn't consider it to be swiping cricket. It was calculated, it was clinical, it was fantastic. Here now, a couple deliveries whereby he's frustrated, not getting back onto ball, might force him to do something a little out of character for him, might produce that wicket.
And there's a show.
Probably gets back onto that one. There's no real appeal from them, but you're seeing that frustration from Carter. These signs of, okay, I was timing it well before, I have to make the adjustments now. And this is what the Warriors needed. Somebody with that, this is what the Titans needed. Somebody with that experience to stand up and really put on a performance like this with the ball.
And you just wonder if it was worth Mardon Ben walking down to his captain and saying, well, let me get this straight.
Well, he gets onto that one, pace onto it, and it disappears.
Clearly, he would have said, no, I'll take this on. I am ready for it. 4 dots, but he adds another maximum, 9th maximum for Jonathan Carter. It's the first time we've seen Javon Searles go length in this over. He went full the 4 previous deliveries, 4 dots. This time, he goes back of a length, and he's greeted by Jonathan Carter into the stands for an easy maximum, his 9th 6. Race is 66 now, Jonathan Carter.
Yeah, the interesting thing about it is that, yes, you're telling yourself you need to change up things, not become predictable, but I think that he needed to continue to be predictable until he was hit off of that length in terms of his slower deliveries, the pace off, asking Jonathan Carter to put something onto. He went pace off and not just pace on, but not just pace on into the surface, a surface that batters have really pulled quite nicely out of.
Always a problem for bowlers. Overthinking, you call it.
Yeah, and here's where that pressure now creeps back in. So you went pace off, gets the line wrong. That now takes it to 7 in the over.
Yeah, it was a good over up to that point. It still is a good over so far. Just 7 runs, but he wants to close it out. Perhaps go back to what was working for him at the start of the over.
Well, 8 runs from that Searles over. It's now 135 for 1.
He is on 67. Mardon Ben, he is on the
2 overs
45,
remaining.
and the
12 legal
Warriors
deliveries,
are
135. Just how many
135
can they
for
get, the
one.
Warriors? Maybe
135
20 and over from
for
here.
one.
They'll still be hoping. 7, 9 wickets in hand. These two striking at over 200, 231. Jonathan Carter, 281. Mardon Bang.
Looking at the fact that 12 deliveries are left, you think, okay, how many sixes do you want in that one? Let's say you're targeting 5 sixes out of those 12 deliveries. That's 30 for them. That would take that score up to 165. A couple more in between there gets you about that 170 or so mark. And certainly 170 plus is what they have to have in mind, given the type of start that they've gotten. Naeem Young, well, he's got ball in hand and he's accustomed to bowling these death overs. He went for 19 in his first. Can he turn the tables here for him? Can he turn his fortunes and come up trumps for his side?
Now, they've had 2 left arm spin options, the Titans, but they've only used 1, Shamar Marshall. We haven't seen Matthew Jones with the ball, and that's very interesting. We think it's because of the way that Jonathan Carter dealt with Shamar Marshall in particular. He did hit him for a few maximums, but you expect to see one of your better bowlers being given an opportunity, especially when all the other bowlers have been put to the hammer.
Yeah, indeed. It was very interesting as well, the fact that Shamar Marshall got that second over as well with Carter still at the crease. I felt as if a case of they needed to mix things up there and give Carter something else, because it was that over from Shamar Marshall that really got the innings going for Jonathan Carter. Well, predicted, goes full, goes straight. Just one for them. And this is what Naeem Young brings to you at the end of an innings.
Yeah, he also would have learned from that previous over that Javon Searles bowled. 4 dot deliveries at the start of the over were right up to the bat. So he's hoping to do the same, especially when he's bowling to Jonathan Carter. It'll be interesting to see what he does to Mardon Ben, though.
It will be very interesting. Quite strong on the legs is Mardon Ben. There's a short, fine leg. She nurses out at deep mid-wicket. But interestingly enough, that square leg region is quite open. And in terms of the line, because he goes very full, he goes very straight. If he just strays just ever a touch onto those pads, you could probably see it racing down towards that square leg area off the inner portion of the bat.
I think he's going to go full, but it's going to be very wide. There's a deep point.
Oh, and he's put down Mardon Ben. That would have been a big moment for them. Instead, he now moves to 47.
Yeah, chance going to begging. A big chance. This could be a big difference. You want to dismiss either of these batters. You want a new batter at the crease. He should have taken that. It looks to be paced off by Naeem Young. Should have been held by Javon Searles on the boundary at long on. Mardon Ben gets a life.
Follows it up with a dot, but will be disappointed after that one. Naeem Young, he was brought back, yes, to restrict the runs, but also to hopefully pick up a wicket, and that certainly was it. And it was a regulation chance as well, especially for somebody of the experience and caliber of Javon Searles. So he will be disappointed with that. But more importantly for the Warriors, the 2 informed men are still at the crease, still that possibility of getting to that 170. Regulation for Javon Searles did the hard work, got around, and simply spilled that one. A change of guard for Mardon Ben.
Brilliant by Naeem Young. Quick single. Hits the stumps, but not out, says the umpire. Very good running by these two who've been at the crease for a very long time in this heat. But very good bowling by Naeem Young. All of his experience, all of his versatility, all of his variations coming to the fore.
That's really fantastic bowling from it. I mentioned the fact that Mardon Ben changed his guard, and I wasn't able to exactly see which one it was, but I actually figured that it was a case of trying to get closer to the ball, given that he knew that Naeem Young was looking to push it wider because of his strength on the leg side. Ask him to hit into that wind, ask him to hit into the offside, but Naeem Young still coming on top of that one. Jonathan Carter now to face. It continues to be a quiet over for them. They think of 2. But good fielding keeps it down to 1. So things just a bit quieter here in the back end. A lot of the firepower that we saw at the start and into the middle of the innings now. A lot better bowling, a lot better execution is starting to pull things back, but still looking at a total of 140 or saying, hey, this is a defendable total for the Warriors, or should be a defendable total.
Yeah, they'll hope to get at least 160. We were talking about 180 before, but because of this over from Naeem Young and that previous over by Javon Searles, now they have to recalculate, and I think they'll be hoping to get to 160. This has been genius so far by these 2 bowlers.
Well, once again, looking to get closer to that ball, given how wide Naeem Young is bowling, but also bowling to his field, Naeem Young. An excellent over for him comes to an end. It's 141 for 1.
Excellent planning, excellent execution. That was brilliant by Naeem Young. Very good initially by Javon Searles and then backed up by Naeem Young. So that was brilliant. They've slowed the scoring tremendously, and now it's only 141. We say only because of the start that the Warriors had.
We've gone from skyscrapers to chattel houses here at the moment in terms of that Manhattan. And certainly, I think at this stage, the Titans would love to be living in a chattel house at this moment. The final over to come. Who does Aaron Jones turn to bowl this very critical last one? It looks as if it's going to be somebody that you talked about a little earlier, Matthew Jones. You just wonder if this is the correct move at this stage. Hey, in 6 deliveries, we're going to find out.
Well, they hope it can't get any worse than that over that went for 32.
In fact, it could. It could. But they're going to hope it doesn't.
There will be pressure on Matthew Jones. He does have to contend with the left-handed batter, Jonathan Carter, and we've spoken about those matchups many times. Left-arm spinner to left-arm batter. It normally favors the left-handed batter. Jonathan Carter is 69 from 31 deliveries, still striking and above 200, but he has slowed tremendously in the last 2 overs.
The interesting thing about the matchup as well, it's not just the matchup that favors Carter, but the wind as well coming towards us here.
And boundary size.
So we'll be hoping to bowl the majority of the deliveries to Maradon Ben, who in fact has also been striking it fantastic as well. 49, 1 away from that 50 Maradon Ben, and what a 50 it would be if he's able to get there. And he gets it, indeed. Probably should pick up 2. 50 of the finest order from Maradon Ben.
Yeah, he has been entertaining, and he thoroughly deserved that, Maradon Ben. He was run out yesterday when he was in fine nick, but this time he goes all the way. He gets to 51 off just 21 deliveries, striking 6 sixes. Strike rate of 245, Maradon Ben.
Yeah, quite a strike rate of 245 for him. But job not done here at the moment because they need to keep piling on the runs. Oh, pile it on indeed. Splits the field, and that's 4.
Yeah, quicker and flatter by Matthew Jones, hoping to get Maradon Ben to walk past that delivery. But he doesn't. Uses his feet well again. He plays it late so he can hit it behind point. Excellent batting by Maradon Ben.
Yeah, came down, threw it a bit wider than Matthew Jones, but got bat onto it. Opened the face quite nicely. Oh, looked to be an outside edge on that one. Waiting for confirmation from the umpire. Yes, indeed. So 1 goes down, but they will still take the fact that it was a single in the end. Would have preferred the wicket, obviously.
Yeah, wicket would have meant a dot ball as well, but they'll be happy that it's not a boundary. So 7 runs from the first 3 deliveries, and Jonathan Carter now to take strike.
And it's interesting because we said that we're happy that it was just 1, but in the grand scheme of things, it brings that matchup that we're talking about into play now. Left-handed Jonathan Carter hitting towards the shorter square boundary, hitting with the wind as well. Just needs to get back onto it, a slight bit of elevation, and it will fly its way into the spectators' area. Targets that leg side, but Naeem Young gets around deep backward square leg to keep it to 1. So they definitely take that with 2 deliveries left now. 1 shy of 150.
Yeah, Good piece of bowling by Matthew Jones, though. He went fuller, not allowing Jonathan Carter to get under the delivery.
Well, he goes for the switch hit. It results in 1 being added to the total. That brings up the 150 for the Warriors.
It's the highest score for the season so far, 150. They still think they'll be disappointed that they've only gotten to 150. Of course, 1 delivery remaining, 1 legal delivery.
So after many blows, it's a quiet end to this one. 151 for 1 in 10 overs. And it's interesting given the type of scores that we're talking about. I think that the ability to pull it back, the Titans will be slightly happier with what they have to chase. Oh, this 151 is the highest total for this season and the second highest in terms of the history of the BIM 10 competition, led by that man at the top of the order. He carries a C next to his name, Jonathan Carter. 71 of the finest runs that we've seen here in this tournament from 33 deliveries. And Maradon Ben, well, he paired him perfectly with 57 from 24. Ivan Grant, the only other batter required, he just got 2. But in terms of the bowlers, well, it was all carnage for them. A wicket slow going to Javon Searles, and that was the only one. Other than that, it was the story of runs. So 152 is what the Titans will need. They'll need to score the highest of this season's BIM 10 if they're going to continue their form in this year's tournament. We come back with more action very soon.
Sing sweet like a choir, wrap it up, see a man will take your life, you ask for your fire. See the boy face turn white like Lizzie McGuire. Boy, them get longer than the chopstick. Now the airport fully plastic. Metal detector can't detect. So you're in your place, you make them a comfort. The boy drop fit. No say your mother would have get sick. When later you cock it. Boy, them get you feel no doubt. Know some boy on the body, not a place, yeah. In a jail, I know some. I roll out band on the best. Got some boy and a them got the place, yo. West Bank link with it, them know we are men. Hey, boy, them get longer than the chopstick. Now the airport fully plastic. Metal detector. She has a drum and I enjoy chant. I'm a gap, no dirty cash in a mix smarter. I'm in a way back corner. From the against the other. She want a star on me. Call me mascara. Bang, me so hot a dance all. Me and me every beats and a little touch of star. I'm a teacher like my last name Madonna. Girl, tell me you like it. Girls but you know. Who on the floor, them on the top. Sporting with that shine and light. You are the one here. One of the can't be. Like a die, you go. Not just when you touch the road. And I was in a tactical man. Oh my God, I'm the road. Drink alright, touching at the party all night. Doing a fast ride, she drink on me and then start ride on. Got me on the train flight. She look at the one light, never go to it. One light, she look the ice because she just. Yeah man, turn from Japan, and everywhere we do back in a them, car in a jam.
As the Warriors make their way onto the field in defense of 151, the two openers from the Titans, Ramon Kelman along with Naeem Young, with ideas to erase this total, and it is going to be Jediah Blades.
Welcome back to BIM 10 action here. This final match on the final day of 2023. Titans taking on the Warriors, and a Titan effort is required because they need 152 runs, the highest total of this season's BIM 10, if they're going to take the victory here today. And they start with the off stump being cartwheeled out of the ground. And Naeem Young goes without scoring.
What a start by Young to that blitz. Gets rid of Naeem Young. Opened it behind yesterday for the Titans, Naeem Young, and he struck many sixes all around the ground. This time he's unable to make contact. Full and straight and crashing into the stumps. Jediah Blaze gets a wicket, his first delivery. No runs scored yet, 1 wicket down. Warriors off to a brilliant start.
Well, certainly after the batting effort that they put down in terms of their skipper and Maridon Ben, that's certainly the way to follow it up in terms of being bang on target with ball number 1 from Jediah Blades. Naeem Young, yes, he had a flyer yesterday with 7 sixes, 47 from 17, but they say you simply can't pack up your runs and carry them to the next one. And that certainly was the case here for him.
Yeah, let's start with Young Blaze, so targeting the stumps first up. But obviously the game's set up by their batters. They've given the bowlers something to work with finally. Yesterday it was not enough runs. Today certainly it was, and he started confidently, Jediah Blaze.
Well, the captain, the pro, the one that's flown in to be here, Aaron Jones, strides out to the middle. He's had a good time with the bat in this one as well. Would have gotten a 40 from 18, which included 3 4s and 3 6s at one stage in this tournament. He'll be hoping that he can find those runs plus here at the moment in pursuit of that target of 152. Could almost say a reset for them, Shakira.
Yeah, and completely different to what happened yesterday. Yesterday it was easy going for them, but everyone has to go. They have to score at more than 15 and over if they're going to make this. So pressure on the Titans batters, a real challenge for them, undefeated so far in the season.
Textbook from Aaron Jones. Can't get a run. In fact, just that one loss for them to the Settlers in this year's tournament. But certainly in terms of form, certainly in terms of runs, they found it going relatively easy to have the Titans in this tournament. Well, that's going to be the first run for them off the bat of the captain, Aaron Jones. A little rushed for pace, you might say, on that occasion. It brings Raymond Kelman onto strike, and he is someone that if he gets going, he can entertain this large crowd that has gathered for this closing match of BIM 10.
Changing field. Now that Raymond Kelman has come on straight. Fielder Kimar Smith being sent a lot straighter, so he's going to deep mid wicket from behind square. Sharp square leg in a circle.
Well, he finds the edge, and that edge will produce the first boundary of the innings.
Yeah, fortuitous to Raymond Kelman, but they have a boundary, and they're off now. The Titans full and wide, and no chance for wicketkeeper to put a hand on that short third in the circle. So it is a boundary, a welcome boundary as well.
Work to be done by fine leg, but it finds its way through, probably won't make its way to the boundary. Just get 2. Onto the legs of Raymond Kelman. It's certainly not an area you want to be too often, though.
Still a pretty quiet start. Just 7 runs off the over so far. 1 ball remaining. We did mention they have to go every over, particularly in this power play. They want to capitalize on this power play.
You probably thought they got away with a wide one on that occasion. That though brings us to the end of what was a very exciting first over. It's 7 for 1.
Good start by Jedi Blaze. Just that one boundary, but pretty quiet over. Importantly, he got that big wicket of Naeem Young. The man who beat it all around the park yesterday.
Yeah, that worm in comparison might need to become a snake if it's going to find its way much closer to what is required here. It will take some hitting, and that's what's so exciting about this format. There's time, but there's very little time.
Just 9 overs. And it's a mammoth total they're chasing. He did point out it's the highest total for the season so far. Second highest in the history of BIM 10. So it's going to take some getting. Certainly this crowd will be entertained today.
There's going to be spin in the form of Andre Marshall.
Andre Marshall into the attack.
Bowls quite often at the start of the innings. Gets that ball to angle in quite nicely to the right-handed batters. Cramps them for room. A ring of fielders on the offside. Two fielders out, deep mid-wicket, who's now being adjusted, and long on. Well, tries to give himself some room, Jones, looking to target that offside. I mentioned the fact that a ring of fielders on the offside from mid-off coming right around towards point. In fact, a man at backward point as well in the form of Miguel coming. So looking to see if he could find his way, force a way through that offside. As I mentioned, though, that angle of the ball coming back in will make it very difficult for these right-handed batters.
Appeal for LBW. Clearly going down the leg side and perhaps going over the top as well. But we did mention, well, he looks to have taken an inside edge. So a single to Aaron Jones. But we did mention that this newer ball isn't going to spin very often, if at all. And not too many of the spinners are looking to spin the ball. Good pickup. But unfortunately, it's a wayward throw. Luckily for Jonathan Carter, doesn't end up being an extra run.
You just wondered if the likes of Aaron Jones might make that adjustment in terms of where he's actually looking to hit the ball. So I wondered, would he look to give himself some room again? He did it. Just dropped it in to the offside. Took that single. There's those little small adjustments that I'll look at as we go through this innings. Once again, Raymond Kevin looking to go through the offside. You just wonder whether he's going to make that adjustment and probably look to go towards that mid-wicket area, probably long on to mid-wicket area in terms of where he could actually get his runs. Very tight, and the thing about it is that the further he goes back, the more cramped he will be for that room. And here's where the thinking, tactical part of cricket comes to the fore.
Yeah, if he goes further back, he allows the ball to do much more and get a lot closer to his body.
Oh, he's put down. The first chance of the innings. It brings us, though, to the end of what was a relatively quiet over. 4 runs from it. It's 11 for 1.
Yeah, always difficult for left-handers to dive to their right, especially for bowlers who are trying to get off the pitch to their left and then having to change direction and dive back to their right. So it's a difficult chance put down. But just 4 runs from the over for a very good start by Andre Marshall.
Yeah, fantastic start. And funny enough, predictable in terms of what he thought he might bowl. And that's why I was wondering, whether or not the likes of Raymond Kelman, the likes of Aaron Jones might make that adjustment. Probably instead of looking to create that room, probably look to take him off his lines and lengths by coming towards that offside, opening up that leg side, and probably using the pace of Marshall, even if not just to, hit towards the wind in terms of the boundary, but in terms of just maneuvering the field, looking to at least get 2.
Yeah, perhaps just ask different questions of Andre Marshall. And we've seen batters not being afraid to take on that win or take on the fielders on the leg side. So that could have been an option. It is Jediah Blaze for his second over. First over just got 7 runs and he got a wicket.
Now goes wide, finds the edge, and also finds the boundary.
Yeah, perhaps didn't want it to go that fine, Raymond Kelman, but he will be happy that he's able to get a boundary, get back on ball. He gets the 12 of 8 deliveries. So a bit wider than perhaps Jedediah Blaze intended, and he finds the edge of the bat. Another boundary down to that 3rd man area.
The thing about it that we know, with pace on the ball and that wide, so we just see anything on it to fly away. And with the man at 3rd man, there's also a man at point. You tell yourself that there's no real risk in that type of shot from Raymond Kelman. Looks to target the leg side, but nothing but wind on that one.
So this is always the problem when you're chasing so many runs. All of a sudden, you're not watching the ball anymore. You're just swiping across the lane. And that's exactly what's happening here with Raymond Kelman.
You think about it with that angle going across him, definitely better served going through that offside. This is where you have that comparison in terms of what I mentioned about Jonathan Carter and his innings. It was not a swiping innings. Like I mentioned before, it was a very calculated innings. It was batsmanship from him. Wanted to get back, instead gets body onto that one.
I think it did come off the back of the bat. But again, don't think he's looking at the ball long enough. He's not watching it all the way onto the bat, Raymond Kelman. And it's the pressure of that scoreboard, those runs on the board that has him batting like this. But there's lots to learn from the way Jonathan Carter went about his innings. And also Mardon Ben. He didn't swipe at all either.
Yeah, it's something that we've seen, in fact, across his BIM 10, whereby a couple players get drawn in to the fact that, it's just 10 overs, thinking that you have to just swing blindly at everything. Gets a fair bit onto this one, not enough to take it to the boundary, but gets him to. So a relatively quiet start at the top here for the Titans in pursuit of that 152. And quite a stark contrast to what we saw when the Warriors faced. But the thing about it is that the back end for the Warriors was relatively quieter than the start. And if the batters are there thinking, they could probably tell themselves, okay, we were able to, have things a bit quieter at the end, which means that we can probably capitalize and catch back up in quotation marks in that phase, even though we've had a quiet start.
Yeah, certainly. They can take some comfort from that. There's still time to score these runs.
Just working that one is Aaron Jones. Quite a thinking cricketer is Jones, especially given his experience in the ODI format of the game as well, whereby he understands the periods of pressure where the runs might not be flowing, but that rotation, getting different batters on strike, something that we're seeing at the moment from him. I'm going to have to reset that one. But 13 from 10 for Raymond Kelman. They're going to need him to fire, and fire very soon.
Yeah, the way he swung, you would think he was 30.
Not enough on that one. Just a single to close out 3. It's 20 for 1.
Yeah, pretty good spell from Jedediah Blaze. 2 overs costing him just 16 runs. 1 wicket as well. So just the start the Warriors would have wanted from him. And they're in the driver's seat.
The Titans looking to get up to 150.
Yeah, that 1 for 16 in comparison or complexion of the game, and probably represents the best bowling figures on offer for somebody that's completed their 2 overs. And that's certainly what the Warriors required if they're going to put 1 in that wins column. The only team not to get off the mark so far in this year's BIM 10 tournament, and it probably will hurt if they aren't able to get off the mark on the back of the batting performances that they had.
Yeah, given what they've done with the bat and given the start they've had, they would expect to win this one.
Oh, this one goes high. Does it go far enough? It goes all the way. And that represents the first maximum of this innings.
And that's actually a good cricket shot by Raymond Kelman. He didn't swipe. Hit the ball down the ground, over that mid-off fielder. No chance for him. Long on is the fielder on the boundary. So a pretty safe shot, low risk, high reward. And he gets a maximum, Raymond Kelman.
Tries to go again, but a brilliant catch by Maradon Ben means it's the end of Raymond Kelman.
Yeah, you just can't keep Maradon Ben out of the game. He was very impactful with the bat. Got a 50 when he was at the crease. But then he's taking a brilliant catch, a diving catch to his left. And that results in the wicket of Raymond Kelman. He goes for 20. And Andrea Marshall gets his first wicket.
Well, that's what you need in the field to back up the batting efforts. It's sharp moments like those. They had a drop chance, a cotton ball chance of the bowling of Andrea Marshall. This time, though, the safe hands of Maradon Ben. And that is a spot of bother, a spot of trouble at 26 for 2.
Yeah, change of length by Andrea Marshall. He pulled the length back, asked Raymond Kelman to play a different shot. He goes across the line, Raymond Kelman, trying to beat the fielder at sharp mid-wicket. He only manages to find diving fielder Maradon Ben.
Well, we're seeing the introduction of the hard-hitting, boundary-finding Ashley Nurse. He's batting at 4 today for the Titans with a lot of work to do. A little under edge on that one means it's not a wide. A loud appeal. That nod says not out. Probably just heading down the leg side on the angle from Marshall.
Yeah, not a very confident appeal by either Marshall or wicketkeeper Zidane Hayward. But crucially, another dot delivery. So 6 the first delivery wicket and then 2 dots. What a comeback by Andrea Marshall.
Well, this is what I talked about in terms of batters not necessarily looking to give themselves room to hit through the offside, but looking to close off the angle and work him into the leg side. Ashley Nurse did just that in terms of creating a new angle for himself. Results, though, in just 2 leg byes, so still another quiet over for them, contrasting power plays.
Yeah, batters so far have gone carried away with the fact that there's no fielder on the boundary on the offside. Ashley Nurse trying to work with the angle, though.
Well, he pushes his one too far down the leg side, does Marshall. Ashley Nurse just willing to settle for 1.
That, in fact, is a wide. So 9 runs off the over so far. Just 6 off the bat. Brings Aaron Jones onto strike. He's faced 6 deliveries for just 6 runs. So he'll need to get a move on, Captain Aaron Jones.
Advances, but has to take that long walk back. That's 2 wickets in the over. And the end of the power play, they are 30 for 2.
Good adjustment. Good thinking by Andrea Marshall. Saw Aaron Jones advancing. He pulled the length all the way back. No chance for Aaron Jones to get his hands to that. And they're in fact 30 for 3. They lose their captain, Aaron Jones, for 6 runs from just 7 deliveries. And they're really in a spot of bother now, the Titans.
Yeah, certainly things going from bad to worse for them in the pursuit of 152. They've not gotten off to a good start. 58 for 1 is what the Warriors were at the end of the power play. The Titans 30 for 3.
Yeah, big difference. 28 more runs the Warriors had, and they had only lost 1 wicket. 30 runs at the end of that power play. So way behind the 8 ball, the Titans. But they do have some power in this behind. Javon Searles now comes to the crease to join Ashley Nurse.
Yeah, not a good looking scorecard for the Titans at the moment. 3 single figures and just Kelman getting into double figures. He perished in that Marshall over. He was the first to go in that one. And then the skipper, Aaron Jones, coming down the wicket, looking to force the issue almost. I felt as if he could have just looked to see out that last delivery from Marshall. Call it evens at the end of the power play.
It's always a tricky one. Last over of the power play, you're chasing 152. You always feel as though you're behind the 8 ball. He felt like he needed to do something.
Well, talking about doing something, Ashley Nurse does the biggest of them all.
Greeted with a maximum, Miguel Cummins. The last ball he bowled yesterday went for a 6. It was from the other end. This time, it's a 6 again. So consecutive 6s off of his 2 deliveries, his first today. But what a strike by Ashley Nurse, all the way beyond the boundaries. We know what this man can do. He's just changed that bat, you know.
Well, wow, it was full, it was straight, and it disappeared off the bat of Ashley Nurse into the darkness, into the abyss. They're going to need a lot more of those.
We saw 15 6s hit between Mardon Ben and Jonathan Carter. Ashley Nurse would be hoping to strike a few himself.
Well, the umpire just asking to have a look at that one. And Cummins into bowl his second delivery now. This one goes high in a different direction this time. A couple bounces. It means that it's just 2 for them. But you see the intent from Ashley Nurse. He's telling himself, okay, this is the bowler that I'm going after. This is my time. This is my moment.
Yeah, just look at the bat swing, the bat speed from Ashley Nurse. Anytime he's offered length, he's looking to pump it down the ground. And we spoke about that being the longest boundaries. But he's not afraid to take it on, Ashley Nurse.
Understands his strengths, Ashley Nurse. And talking about strength, that is wow. Look out in the crowd.
I think someone was almost struck there. Pay attention when this man, Ashley Nurse, is on strike. Change of length from Miguel Cummins, but he's quickly onto the back foot. Look at the way he rocks back, all the way going back, and he pulls that one ferociously. Another maximum to Ashley Nurse.
Somebody needs to hang a danger sign somewhere around the ground. What's the sound off of that one, Shakira?
I think that probably almost blew the umpire away. Had he connected with that, that one would have been hit down to St. James.
The thing about it, and hence why I kind of want to go back to that Aaron Jones dismiss, is a case of you know who's to come. You know your target. You say, okay, Andrew Marshall has bowled well. No one was able to really get him off his lines, off his lengths. It was a case of having to readjust after that power play and say, you know what, okay, this was our quiet period. Let us know attack in terms of, okay, this is who we're going after.
Yeah, perhaps in hindsight, he would have felt he should have stayed, played it a bit more safely, get out of the power play and stay with Ashley Nurse. But again, I can understand the pressure he felt he was under. I think he felt he needed to get after Andrea Marshall. Tried to get out of the power play with a better score than 30. Remember, they are chasing 152.
Yes, indeed. And Javon Searles will be hoping that he can play a major part in it. He's been a spectator so far at the other end, watching balls fly off the bat of Ashley Nurse. Well, Searles takes a quieter approach in comparison to his compatriot. That brings us to the halfway stage of this innings.
At the halfway stage, the Titans are 46 for 3. Ashley Nurse, he's on 14. And Javon Searles, he is on 1.
Delivery left. And this one. That crowd certainly fantastic here for this curtain closer. Match number 2 of this Sunday of BIM 10 cricket action.
So it's going to be the captain of the
Being
Warriors.
entertained so far. And there is going to be the man who was responsible primarily for that entertainment in the first innings, Jonathan Carter, with ball in hand. Struck 9 sixes, Jonathan Carter. And he'll be hoping that none of those sixes come off of his bowling now.
Well, he's certainly a crafty competitor, is Jonathan Carter. Deceptive in terms of his pace, and also in terms of his lengths as well, Carter. And he's beaming with confidence off the back of what was 71 from just 33 deliveries.
Yeah, yesterday we saw him bowl some quick deliveries, bowl some bouncers at Careless Profit. He has to contend with another tall batter here. Starts off with a slower delivery, which is swept away behind square for a single.
Interesting to see how he goes at Ashley Nurse, whether or not he continues to take pace off as he did just now with that delivery. Javon Searles asks Ashley Nurse to put everything a hit towards that leg side where we know he will definitely be targeting, or does he go pace on, almost that surprise type of pace, probably back of a length as well to Ashley Nurse.
Yes, 3 fielders in the deep on the leg side, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and long on. So whatever he does, he's probably going to go at the body.
Well, this one goes into the air and it disappears.
You asked if he was going to remain with that pace off ploy. He did, but it seems as though Ashley Nurse was waiting for it. He waited and waited, and he was able to connect with that cleanly past the fielder at deep backward square, and for another maximum.
Yeah, he certainly set himself up for that one. Ashley Nurse opened up the body, waited on it, because once again it was that pace off from Jonathan Carter. Well, this is as mighty and as far as it gets. That one is in aisle number 2 of A1 Supermarkets.
Maximum number 4 for Ashley Nurse. 27 from 10 deliveries. This one hit further in front. First one helped behind square. Pace on this delivery from Jonathan Carter, but it's not fast enough to outfox Ashley Nurse. That one creamed into the car part of A1 Supermarkets. 4 sixes for Ashley Nurse. Game on.
Well, it's probably looking to do a bit of a last-minute shopping. You know, it's all year's night here. Approaching, probably looking for a bag of cabbage and maybe a beverage as well to entertain some people. But certainly that one was struck far and mighty by Ashley Nurse. He is putting his hand up in pursuit of that 152 that they need.
Interesting line from Jonathan Carter. Interesting length. I expect that he'll go a bit further now and ask Ashley Nurse to hit the ball down the ground. Perhaps more of what we saw from Naeem Young and Javon Searles at the back end of the innings. Around the wicket, no. Goes Fuller. Is it a chance? Falls way short. And they get to eventually misfield by, looks like Kemar Smith running from long off, in fact. The change of length, wise decision, change of angle as well from Jonathan Carter.
It's over so far and gone for 4. Well, this one will take some catching. Easy work in the end for Zidane Harewood. And that is the end of the onslaught, the end of Ashley Nurse.
Yeah, change of angle certainly working for Jonathan Carter. Around the wicket for the second delivery in succession. And he gets rid of the dangerous Ashley Nurse. 28 from 12 deliveries. He struck 4 sixes. striking at 254, but he has to go. Trying to hit that one over deep mid wicket into the shot way too early. Gets the leading edge and a good catch by Zidane Hereward. They get their 4th wicket. 61 for 4.
You just wonder, with Ashton Nurse making his way back in, whether or not that is the end of the pursuit of 152. That's not to say that there aren't runs left in the hut, but certainly it will take some mammoth strikes if they're to get over the line.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult, one would think. Carlos Maynard, a very capable batter, left-handed batter he is, Carlos Maynard, but it's going to be very difficult now for them to get the remaining 91 runs from 25 legal deliveries. They still have 6 wickets in hand. But after Carlos Maynard, they're getting into the all-rounders. All-rounders who can strike it, though. Good composure showed by Captain Jonathan Carter.
Yeah, certainly, especially after getting those 2 sixes hit off his bowling within the first 3 deliveries. You always knew they had to end the over strong, had to pull things back for his side. Change his angles, continue to go with that pace off, and in the end, it paid off for him. Final delivery of the 6. Catches the cry, and catch it is. So 1 ball is all it took for Maynard, and Carter picks up another.
What a setup by Jonathan Carter. He had 4 fielders on the deep, on the leg side, 1 fielder on the offside. So you knew he was going to bowl at the body of Carlos Maynard. He went short, surprised Maynard. Maynard could only manage to hook it to Jared Jilts coming in from deep fine leg, and it's an easy catch. 2 wickets at the back end of the over for Jonathan Carter. Over went for 15, but he got 2 wickets. Brilliant by Captain Carter.
Yeah, brilliant indeed. He's put his hand up as a man of the match contender, as Jonathan Carter picked up 2 on the back of that 71 I mentioned before that he scored. And in the sunshine now with the Desmond Haynes Oval, that's Matthew Jones is striding towards the crease. He certainly hits it a long way as well, but it's not just about hitting a long way, it's about consistently hitting it a long way at this stage of the innings. 91 needed from 24 deliveries. What piece of excitement are we in for?
That was always going to be the problem, wasn't it? They needed to consistently score quickly. Chasing 152, they started off needing 15 and over. They're far behind that now. They need 22 and over if they're going to chase this down.
It looks to be Zion Brathwaite with ball in hand as we get that glorious view. Well, talking about glorious, this worm, not really looking too glorious at the moment for the Titans. A bit limp in terms of its stance in pursuit. What is that? I guess you would call it so this will be the anaconda, Shakira, and this will be the worm just beneath it. But yes, certainly a lot of work to be done at the moment.
Warriors fighting strong and winning this battle so far.
Just 1 for them. Brings Jones into strike. And funny enough, he's found himself in similar positions like this where he's been required to go from ball 1 as Matthew Jones. On occasion, he has come off as well in terms of being that match winner.
Yeah,
22 deliveries, 10 of those is 60 if they all fly over the ropes, and that's part of the job done. I mentioned he will be going after it. Work to be done by Cummins, and he gets there just in time to keep it to 2.
A bit of extra pace by Zion Brathwaite. Matthew Jones truly shot a bit late. Ended up getting it over the fielder at short third. He has 2 runs, but they need boundaries.
He's eyeing the field at the moment, is Jones. Knowing him, he's probably targeting those square boundaries. And here's where we question the intensity at the moment. Shakira, very early on in the piece, it appears as if they were settling for just one. In fact, Matthew Jones looked as if he wanted that too.
Yeah, Javon Searles had no intention of coming back for that second run. You never know, perhaps there's a reason for that. And you're not this shorter boundary with the win.
Well, he goes full, he goes wide, and gets two. And once again, you're looking at that intensity from Searles. Should have comfortably come back for that two from the start. Oh yeah, certainly need to find those boundaries. So everything right now going in favor of the Warriors in pursuit of what will be their first win in this season's competition.
Yeah, just 6 runs from the over so far. And importantly, no boundary being struck.
It was interesting to look at that first trigger movement of Searles. You mentioned the fact that he's looking to come leg side with the wind towards the shorter boundary. Gets across the stump. And well, that finger goes up. It looked dead. He is dead, and he's got to go.
Couldn't be any plumber. Full, straight, and into the boot of Javon Searles. I think he just fits that boot almost as though he pointed out a target for the bowler. And he nailed it, Zion Brathwaite. A brilliant over by the youngster so far, tailing in, crashing into that leg stump. And it takes the back leg. No chance for Javon Searles, no doubt for the umpire. Another wicket, 67 for 6.
You mentioned that initial trigger movement in terms of him getting across close towards that off stump, looking to target that leg side, but full, fast, and straight from Zion Brathwaite produced the desired result. And at the moment, they're romping to what will be a fantastic victory here at the end of this Super Sunday of BIM 10 cricket.
It just hasn't gone right for the Titans today. They're put under pressure from the time they started to bowl, especially when Jonathan Carter got going in that third over in particular. And since then, they've struggled to gain any sort of control of this game. For the Warriors, though, everything is going right.
The new batter is Antonio Morris. And he's come to face a mountain. Does he have his climbing shoes, Shakira?
He needs those climbing shoes, and he'll need some help, a hand from Matthew Jones as well.
Whipped away. Can't get two though, as Kemar Smith is quite sharp. That brings us to the end of 7. It's a 68 for 6.
Yeah, just 7 runs from that Zion Brathwaite over. 7 runs and a crucial wicket. Well in control, the Warriors, and well on their way to their first victory this season.
Yeah, everything has gone right for them from the start. Yes, they lost the early wicket of Evan Grant, but since then, with the bat, it went well, and with the ball as well. Yes, 1 or 2 bowlers have gone for runs. Miguel Cummins was taken apart by Ashley Nurse. Jonathan Carter went for some runs off the bat of Nurse as well, but he picked up 2 important wickets. 2 to Marshall as well, 1 apiece to Blades and Brathwaite. So collectively, in terms of the team effort with the ball, it's been fantastic by them. The fielding effort as well has been relatively good from them also.
Yeah, they don't just want to win this game. They want to win it comprehensively. That net run rate may come into play at the back end of this tournament.
Yeah, Carter's going to bowl his second. It starts with a wide. Yeah, at this stage, it's really just about closing it out, really about making that statement. And looking to carry that into what will be the next week of this T10 action. Don't forget, we take a break tomorrow to celebrate the new year and be grateful that, we open our eyes and say thank you for being here. And then we get right back to the cricket action. Well, he followed him with that one, and that's that deceptive pace that Carter carries.
was just thinking that he outwitted Carlos Maynard, deceived him completely. And when you see Jonathan Carter ambling in, you never think it's going to be that fast. He does bowl a quick bouncer when he wants to. And with the field set, you know he's going to dig it into the surface.
Oh, digs it in and gets it just over the hands of deep backward square leg. That's 6 runs. I mentioned the fact that 10 of those is 60 for them. 9 more, Shakira.
9 more, and he'll take some striking, but this is a powerful strike from Antonio Morris. It's only his 3rd delivery he's faced, but he's middled that and he's able to beat the diving fielder at backward square.
Oh, unfortunate, you would have to say, to get a bottom glove on that one. Would have been another wide for them. 75 needed from 15 deliveries.
John McCartney making it a lot harder, bowling around the wicket and tucking up the batters, going for the body. Does have protection in the deep on the leg side.
He has a very open stance. And it's one that means that the top edge flies away for 4.
It's the result he was after, but it's not where he was looking to hit that one, Antonio Morris. But it doesn't matter. They need boundaries, and that's another boundary. 13 runs from the over so far. Still 2 deliveries remaining.
The thing about it is that that stance from Morris tells Jonathan Carter exactly where he's looking to target. Goes in terms of the body line of him, but that top edge flies away and produces the desired result. Targets that leg side again. Work to be done by deep backward square leg, but he won't get there. And that's back-to-back boundaries.
Yeah, crucial boundaries. Jonathan Carter wouldn't be happy with this. Doesn't want them to get too close to the score, even if they win it. Remember, we spoke about that run rate. That net run rate could come into play at the back end of this season. So he wants to keep things tight, close out the over. He continues with that body line. Again, he gets a boundary. Antonio Morris. He's 17 of 6 deliveries. Perhaps he could have come earlier.
A single to close out Carter's spell. Relatively expensive in the context of this innings. 33 from it. 8 overs gone. It's 86 for 6.
Yeah, maximum and 2 boundaries in that over. So not very happy with the result, Jonathan Carter. But they're still well in control. 66 runs needed from the last 2 overs. It's going to take more than a miracle now.
It will certainly take a miracle. It'll take an angel. And it will take a lot to get that worm going. It never really got that momentum going, did the Titans. You see those tall overs, especially at the start of the inning. And it simply continued for the Warriors. It's going to be Brathwaite to complete his spell. Gets a chunk of that one, but finds Kemar Smith at a deep mid-wicket boundary. Ones that simply will not do it for them.
Yes, and Brathwaite continues to bowl to his fields, keeping things simple, going full and straight, 3 fielders in the deep on the leg side for the right-handed batter. He hasn't been struck for a boundary as yet.
You just wonder if Matthew Jones might take a similar approach in terms of targeting that leg side in a similar fashion to what Morris did. Or will he look to open up and come through the covers? Obviously that angle of the ball going away from him. Well, he goes down the leg side, gets enough of a tickle onto it. And that's 4.
Yeah, 2 straight from Zion Brathwaite on this occasion. Failed to adjust his line with the left-handed batter coming on strike. That's the first boundary scored off his over so far. Gone for 12 runs, Zion Brathwaite. Still quite tight bowling. try to follow Matthew Jones, it seems. Matthew Jones is able to get enough of it past Zidane Harewood for a boundary. His first boundary.
Yeah, as you mentioned, even if they don't get to the total, need to get relatively close, given that those top four might be decided by that run rate. This certainly, I was going to say, should be called a wide. And Matthew Jones kind of agrees with me as well, but the umpire, who matters, says not.
The only man that matters, he decides it's not a wide.
That's an interesting one. A very interesting one.
Yeah, he got away with that one, Zion Brathwaite. Slower delivery into the surface seemed to be an off-cutter that kept going away from the left-handed Jones.
They're answering a question. Denied, though. But a dot ball to the cause as well. 2 balls to come in what has still been a quiet over for Brathwaite.
Well, one given, one taken. Didn't call it a wide, then he decided not to give it out. It's all even now.
That means you're saying Snicko tells you there was an edge on that one, Shakira.
Do you appeal look convincing enough?
What is convincing is Zion Brathwaite at the moment. He's put up his hand and delivered 11 deliveries for just 12 runs. Picked up a wicket as well. Will be looking to close things out. And after that, sign, seal, and deliver the final rights. As my math and the multiplication tells me that 61 is just a bit too much to get in 7 deliveries.
Well, I'm no good at math, so I'm just going to agree with you.
Closes things out with a dot, does Zion Brathwaite. A fantastic spell of bowling comes to an end for him. 9 bowled is 91 for 6.
91 for 6. With Jones on
You
7.
can think job done for the Warriors. They can start to smile. They'll finally have a W at the end of this game, set up by their captain, Amardon Ben, with the bat, and then brilliantly supported by every bowler that touched the ball. They've done their jobs excellently. It looks as though they're going to close out the year with a smile.
Well, that's certainly what we all want to close out the year with. As the sun slowly makes his way towards the ground on this lovely last day of the year. That scorecard doesn't tell too happy a story at the moment. Tells more of a nightmare for the Titans, who never truly got going in this innings. 28 and 20 representing the highest scores from Ashley Nurse and Raymond Kelman. Outside of that, they would say it's been nothing but lotto numbers for them. So the final delivery, or rather final over to be bowled by Miguel Cummins. Yeah, relatively quiet end to what has been a very exciting doubleheader of action here in BIM 10 cricket. Gets a hold of that one, and it produces a boundary.
Yeah, not too quiet on this occasion. Antonio Morris finds a boundary once more. He's gone to 23 from 10 deliveries. Antonio Morris, he scored most of his boundaries in that region. Just look at the way he opens up, followed, but he's okay with that. It's almost as though he's asking the bowlers to follow him. He middles that in front of square.
Yeah, each time he's certainly set up with that very open stance, telegraphing that he's certainly going towards that leg side boundary, and it's produced quite a few runs for him. Well, this one could be a chance. Ivan Grant settles under it, Bubbles pops it, and drops it.
I thought he had it. Bubbled on the first attempt, and then he looked to have grabbed it, but certainly he floored it. So another chance, not that it's going to matter, but they do want to be taking their chances. They do want to be limiting them to as few as possible.
Yeah, a bit of confusion at first between whether or not he would take it or Kemar Smith. It was Grant in the end who decided. 1, 2, 3, and it was down.
1, 2, 5. Thank you.
A bit of a juggling act, which tells me that Evan Grant should not be in the circus. Well, he's got all of that. That is 6 and more.
Well, they needed 10 a few overs ago. That's only the second. But boy, that's been middled. And he's hit that into the carrot part. We can only hope he hasn't hit any of the carrot's part over there, but he's hit that a mile, Matthew Jones.
Well, the concern of the spectators tells me that somebody's car needs a bit of running repairs at the moment, but he certainly got all of that, did Matthew Jones. It won't matter at the end of it what it might be. This has been a confidence booster for him. Getting that one smack dab out the middle.
Yeah, his first maximum, Matthew Jones. 13 of just 8 deliveries. There's 2 deliveries remaining and they need 48 runs. So no chance of winning this one. But they're finishing with a flurry.
Chance again. And falls just short, it looks like, of Evan Grant this time. One of those ones where you have to question whether or not you're going to run into it or whether or not it's going to come to you. Got caught in between lines in no man's land.
One of 2 things. Probably didn't think the catch mattered, or perhaps he didn't want to drop another one. Remember, he dropped a catch a few balls ago, Evan Grant. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Single added to the total.
Final ball of this one. And that is the end. The Warriors, they pick up their first win in BIM 10 cricket. And what a way to close the curtains on what has been a fantastic year of cricket. But don't worry, more cricket is still to come in the new year. But in the end, the Warriors, 151 proved to be just a tad bit too much for the Titans. 106 for 6 is what they were able to reach. Jonathan Carter, starting to stand out performer. He is the one that led the way with the bat with 71, helped by Maradon Ben with his 57. But that batting card for the Titans, well, it tells the story that they probably do not want to look back at. So 151 for 1 in 10 by the Warriors. In reply, 106 for 6, the Titans. Thank you very much for joining us here at the Desmond Haynes Oval. We take a break and we say Happy New Year to all of you, and thank you for joining us. We hope to see you in the new year with more BIM 10 cricket action.